Hey guys, good morning. So we're going to start with page 216, and hopefully the sound isn't glitching this time since I made a few changes on the mic and I'm not using the webcam. So like I said, this is the top of page 216, and I'm just going to go ahead and start reading. So we are comparing two numerical patterns, and then it wants us to read this right here. So in level 1 of a game, you earn 2 points for each correct answer. In level 2, you earn 6 points for each correct answer. Compare the number of points in level 2 to the number of points in level 1 if you correctly answer 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 questions. So here in Picture It, we have level 1, and it is showing us what that pattern looks like, which basically you're earning 2 points every time. And then level 2 is different because you're earning 6 points every time. So you're just looking at that and observing it, and we will use that in the next set of questions. Okay, so now I am on slide 2, which is at the bottom of page 216. And we have a model it. So you can show your pattern by just, writing the pattern side by side, or you can kind of put them in a more organized fashion using a table. So it says, use a table to show the number of points you get for correct answers in each level of the game. So we are writing ordered pairs. It says, have the first number be from the first pattern, then have the second number be the corresponding number from the second pattern. So in the first pattern, we were adding 2 every time. So that's what this pattern is. Go back. And then in the second pattern, we were adding 6 every time. So that's what this pattern is. And then it says the total number of points in level 1 increases by 2 for each correct answer, which we already know. So can you see my mouse? Yep, increasing by 2. And the total number of points in level 2 increases by 6 for each correct answer. So right here, you're going to double click and you're going to start creating ordered pairs. Now that is part of our assignment on the third slide, but I'm going to go ahead and start filling in my ordered pairs. Oh, I forgot, I can't type while I am in full screen mode. So I'm going to exit full screen mode and I'm going to start creating my ordered pairs. What it wants you to do is just to put these in an ordered pair. So you see 0, 0, 2, 6. I'm going to do maybe 3 of them for you. And what I'm doing here is I'm having to double click and then I'm using my arrows to move back and forth. I'm going to put 4, 12. I'm going to close my parentheses. Your parentheses, you'll have to use the numbers up at the top. You'll have to hit Shift and then hit the parentheses so that it'll show up. And the parentheses for me are on the numbers 9 and 0, but it may be different for you. So, and then the same thing here. I'm going to use my arrow, 6, 18. So all you're doing basically is putting these 2 numbers together that you see here. And I'll do this one, and then I want you guys to do the last 2. So again, you're just placing them together in an ordered pair. And I know you can't see the text boxes, but once you click, the blue should show up. The reason I didn't show them is because they were all like kind of stacked together and a little bit confusing. So I didn't want to do that. And I just made them more transparent and visible. All right, so yeah, just go ahead and fill in this ordered pair and this ordered pair. And that's all you have to do on this slide. All right, guys, so this is at the top of page 217, and you can see here I have some text boxes, but I have kind of helped you guys out by having like a sentence starter. So it says, look at Picture It on the previous page. Describe how the total number of points changes with each correct answer in level 1 and level 2. So if I go back to level 1, and I'm looking here again at the Picture It section, let me use the pointer here. Okay, so if I'm looking here at this section or this pattern, I can see that it is increasing by a certain number every time. And then if I look at the second pattern, or for the second level where it's increasing by another number every time, or a number of points every time. So it wants you to observe that, and then it wants you to write in your answer here. Now, I'm not going to write the answers for you guys because I want you guys to do a little bit more on your own this week. So for level 1, the pattern increases by what number? And then I want you to place your answer there. So you will have to exit the full screen mode, and then you will have to type. So you're just going to have to double click here. And again, You want to use your arrow keys to move around and then to type in your number. So the pattern increases by 7 if you think it's 7, or the pattern increases by whatever number, put the correct number. And then you're going to do the same for level 2. All right, so for number 3, it says complete the table on the previous page, which again, I started that table for you, and then I want you to do the last 2 on the table. So make sure that you do that. And then it says for each ordered pair, for number 4, we're on number 4 now. For each ordered pair, how does the second number compare to the first number? So the second number is how many times the first number that I want you to figure out. So we can go back to slide 4 and we can look at how each one of them compares. So the second number is how many times the first number. So how did I get from 2 to 6, right? What am I multiplying by? Figure out what that pattern is. How do I get from 4 to 12? How do I get from 6 to 18? And every time it should be the same thing that's happening, right? We are multiplying by a certain number every time when we're looking at the relationship between these two patterns. So I'm going to go back here. So the second number is how many times the first number? Again, I forgot. I can't type. So you're going to double click there and my cursor ends up right there in the middle. And then you can say the second number is 6 times the number. The second number is 20 times the number, the first number. What do you think the answer is? Go ahead and place it there. All right, and for number 5, it says, suppose the game has a third level. You get 9 points for each correct answer in level 3. Explain how you could figure out how the points in level 3 compare with the corresponding points in level 2. So this is what I said. You could create a pattern that increases by 9, and then order those numbers on a table next to the second pattern that increases by 6, since we're comparing the new pattern and the second pattern. After that, you could find the relationship between the two patterns. So I'm basically saying, you would have this on your table, and instead of having the points in level 1, you would have the points in level 3. So we would kind of flip-flop them, and then we could compare the relationship, just like we did before when I was saying, how do I get from 2 to 6? How do I get from 4 to 12? And compare it that way. So I went ahead and did that one for you just to help you guys out. And that is it for page 217 up at the top. All right, guys, so this is the last slide, and it is what is at the bottom of page 217. So it is the try it piece, and it says use what you just learned about comparing two number patterns to solve this problem. Show your work on a separate sheet of paper. So I'm going to have you show your work here, and I have inserted a table that I want you guys to edit. So it says school magnets cost $4 and shirts cost $24. Write a pattern for the costs of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 magnets, and a second pattern for the cost of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 shirts. How do the corresponding terms of the two patterns compare? So that is what we are going to do. I'm going to exit the full screen mode, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start the pattern for you to get you give you an idea, and then you can continue it on your own. Okay, so I'm going to start off here. So if I'm going to do the magnets pattern first. I'm going to do 3 of them, and then you do the other 3. So if I bought 0 magnets, then I would spend $0. So it says write a pattern for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So those are the numbers that I have up here, the number of items. So if I bought 0 magnets, how much would that be? If I bought 1 magnet, 2 magnets, 3 magnets, 4 magnets, 5 magnets, and the same thing for the shirts. So I thought I had typed in there. It's not letting me. Oh, okay. All right. If I bought 1 magnet, well, then I would pay $4 because 1 magnet is equal to $4 or costs $4. And then if I bought 2 magnets, I would have to add $4 to this $4 to get a total of 8. So I want you to finish up the pattern there for magnets, and I will do the next pattern for shirts. So what if I bought 0 shirts? Well, I would spend $0 because I'm not buying anything. If I bought 1 shirt, then I know that it costs $24, so I would be spending $24. If I bought 2 shirts, I would have to add 24 to this number right here, and 24 plus 24 is 48. And I want you to continue that pattern for the shirts. So you can see here that I have created a sentence starter for you after looking at it. So I want you to say the second pattern, or the price of the shirts, is blank times the first pattern, or the price of the magnets. So how did I get from 0 to 0? How did I get from 4 to 24? How did I get from 8 to 48? There's a relationship there between the price of the magnets and the price of the shirts, and that's what I want you to figure out. Okay, so that is it for that slide.